Editor-kun, make me look smart. I know I can trust you. She's not just your wife, comrade. She's our wife. But, that's a million Big Macs. Hoshi, 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 Hoshi. Hoshi Hoshi Mewtube, I am Stellatrix, coming at you live from a starship near you. Today we will be perceiving The Hunt for the Lost Communist Console by Fern. Gotta admit, that's a wild title. Really curious to see what this one's about. Strap in, strap on, let's go perceive, comrade. I wanna be
This is one of the rarest video game consoles on the planet. Only about 1,000 units were ever made. In a country that doesn't exist anymore.
What?
It's the first and only console
countries
ever
don't
produced
exist
by
anymore?
the former...
Let's see, what country doesn't exist anymore that I can think of? Czechoslovakia? Was the Soviet Union a country? Editor-kun, make me look smart. I know I can trust you.
East German Communist State, the GDR.
Oh.
Its name is the Bildschirmspiel 01, or the BSS-1. We wanted to know everything about it. Who invented it? Why was it built? What does it tell us about communist tech ambitions?
Why was the gaming console built? What do you think? What do you think the lost communist console was built for? I can't think of a single reason.
And maybe the most important question,
Polyplay.
what does it feel like to actually play it?
She's not just your wife, comrade. She's our wife.
The BSS-1 is more than a quirky piece of legacy hardware. It tells a story about a secret war being fought in living rooms around the world, even today. This is the hunt for the lost communist console.
If it's lost, how did we find it?
When we first heard about this mysterious console, we knew immediately we needed to get our hands on one, so we went online. The BSS-1 is extremely rare. Of the roughly 1,000 units originally produced, only a fraction seem to still exist.
Yeah,
They came in different colors. Most models are solid black with yellow or orange buttons. The white version is much harder to find. And the rarest of them all is the white one with white controllers. We found that exact variant on eBay. Even though it's more than 45 years old, it looks...
What is that? 859,000... Is that euros? UR to USD. Oh my god. That's a million Big Macs.
more than 45 years old. It looks almost brand new. Collectors say only about 15 of these are left worldwide. We buy it, and a few days later, the BSS-1 is finally delivered.
I'm sorry.
But not to
What?
us.
Oh.
In this box, there's a very special console, a gaming console.
That was $1 million US. Who bought this? Who? What?
Made in the GDR, in the German Democratic Republic. And we just bought it for €900 and we want to unbox.
Oh, this is the European thing where the comma, what? Was the comma? I'm having an American moment. Oh, there was only 2 zeros there. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So it's the European thing where the comma is the decimal.
In this box, there's a very special console, a gaming console made in the GDR, in the German Democratic Republic. And we just bought it for €900 and we want to unbox it and see what it's worth.
I love how
Let's
happy
go.
he looks. He looks so
This is
excited.
Daniel
I would be so
Budemann.
excited.
He's been one of the defining faces of German gaming culture for nearly 2 decades. He hosted legendary video game shows on MTV
I definitely thought that was Smosh for a second.
Germany, and later on YouTube. We met with him in Hamburg to put this historic console through its paces.
Here we
Oh, I'm
are.
so excited. Please show
So
me.
this is it.
Show
this
me.
is the RFT TV Spiel, or
Spiel.
the Bildschirmspiel 01.
The Bildschirmspiel. Bildschirmspiel.
RFT TV Spiel, or the Bildschirmspiel 01.
Bildschirmspiel.
The one and only gaming console made in the GDR, which is weird, isn't it?
The BSS-1 is about 30 centimeters wide and weighs roughly 1.5 kilos. It comes with 2 controllers. There's a number behind one of them.
If you take a look, this is a small stamp with the number 710.
I wonder what that could mean.
Every single unit has its own unique serial number. Online, there's a list tracking all of the surviving devices, or all the known ones anyway. Ours doesn't seem to be on it, which suggests it might be a rare find. This red button is the power switch. Below it is a row of yellow buttons. These let you select the different games. There are 4 in total: pelota, squash, football, and tennis. The black buttons here on the left let you adjust various in-game settings.
That's so satisfying.
Even though East Germany developed its own computers and microelectronics, it made only a single attempt at building a video game console. The country had a very particular relationship with technology. It was largely cut off from the West, and sourcing modern tech was often difficult, if not impossible. That raises the real questions. Why video games? Who pushed this project forward? And what were they actually trying to achieve?
Yes.
It's the 1970s. Germany is divided by a political and very physical border called the Iron Curtain. In the West, there's the Democratic Federal Republic. In the East is the authoritarian GDR, a proxy state of the Soviet Union. In the Western world, technological progress is speeding ahead full throttle. Part of this trend is the emerging video game industry. In 1972, the first commercially available home console in video game history hits the US market. It's called the Magnavox Odyssey.
Magnavox
The electronic
Odyssey.
game of the future. Odyssey can be many
That was the first commercially available console? Is that what he said? I thought that was like the Atari.
things to your family. Fun, excitement, entertainment, challenge, and education.
The console can, well, it can't do much. It's basically just a few glowing squares drifting across the screen.
Hey, you gotta start.
The system shipped.
Hey, I mean, what is a pixel if not a glowing square drifting across your screen? You gotta start somewhere.
With 12 pre-installed games that turn your TV into a soccer field or a hockey rink. But first, you have to attach colored plastic sheets to the screen. One game stands out: tennis, which is actually more like a very basic version of ping pong. It's easy to learn and very intuitive. Atari sees the potential and adapts the idea to create Pong. In less than a year, Pong becomes the first commercially successful video game in history. Before long, competitors are racing to copy the concept.
You can choose tennis, or hockey, handball, or squash.
Over the next few years, video games evolve at breakneck speed. By 1977, consoles like the Atari 2600 are conquering living rooms from the United States to Western Europe.
Honestly, this is completely random and unrelated to anything that he's saying, but I deeply miss how much personality everything from the 70s and 80s and even the 90s had. I mean, honestly, everything before about 2010, but especially the 70s and the 80s, it just has this cozy, nostalgic feel to me. I don't know why, but I miss it. I'm not like gonna say I was born in the wrong generation or anything, because like I'm a star child and I've always existed. I'm a being of infinity. I want to decorate my whole home in just this. Is that weird? Does that make me weird? I know lots of other things make me weird, but does this thing make me weird? Do you feel me?
That are conquering living rooms from the United States to Western Europe.
I'd like the most popular home video game system ever.
Ah, the system you want is the Atari 2600.
That's so fast. I want a system that can play hundreds of games.
Oh, then what you want is the Atari 2600.
But I'd like the system that can also play educational games for my children.
Then what you want is the Atari 2600.
Fine.
Video game graphics and sound effects improve rapidly. Within just a few years, the industry produces its first true icons: Space Invaders, Asteroids, and of course, Pac-Man.
Now from Atari, a great new video game, Pac-Man.
By the late 1970s, the first home computers are sold in the US. Machines like the Commodore PET 2001 and the Apple II. And with that, The West pulls far ahead of the East in both tech and gaming. It's wild to think about how we went from here to here.
I wonder what life would be like if we had never made the microprocessor. I feel like it'd make a really cool video game if we thought about what would happen if we didn't make the microprocessor and if we focused more on nuclear technology. What do you think the future would look like? What do you think the present would look like if we had done those two things? I bet it would look really great. Really cool, right?
In the 1970s, most households in East Germany already have a TV in the living room, but they can only dream of owning a computer, let alone a game console.
Ah, yes, the days when luxuries were expensive and necessities were cheap. Very different from today, where luxuries are cheap and necessities are expensive. I think about that, how the older generations truly, like, not, once again, not everybody, not every old person, but the ones that you think of when you think of a boomer who's like, you are spending too much on your phones and your avocado toast and your TVs. It's because when they were a kid, those things were super duper expensive and you could buy a house by just foregoing those things. It is wild to think how times have changed. I can get a $1,000+ phone and pay $30 a month for it over 3 years, but a healthy grocery run of like 5 things costs $150.
Of course, East Germans noticed that technology is increasingly becoming part of everyday life in the rest of the modern world, so the GDR decides to do something about the massive gap between their consumer technology and that of Western industrial countries. In 1977, the GDR declares microelectronics the country's top priority. Billions are poured into building an independent microchip industry. The idea is twofold. 1. Strengthen the GDR's position as an industrialized nation. 2. Have its own population experience the luxury of owning home computers. Atari's success with Pong in the West doesn't go unnoticed either. By the mid-70s, the GDR's leadership decides that the country will build a console of its own.
It really is weird to think about how much innovation and harm and everything good and everything bad has been done mostly because of money. I was gonna say capitalism, but this is the communist console, but it still comes down to money. I feel like we need a better system.
So let's try to figure out what the BSS-01 can do or can't do. And as you can see, an exact copy of the Western version of Pong. So this is tennis, and yes, it works.
With the controllers,
This would feel
you
like
can move the
this would feel like such a cool time capsule. I want to play this thing so freaking bad. Please, please let me play it.
paddles up or down to hit the ball. With these black buttons on the left, you can adjust in-game settings like paddle size or ball speed.
So now you got the hard mode of Pong. Interesting. Let's try soccer. Ooh, all right, interesting. So we get squash. Oh, interesting, all right. And let's try a game which is called Pilota.
Pilota?
But I don't know what Pilota means actually. Let's make it faster, maybe that's interesting. All right.
A match ends once one of the two players makes it to
That's a sick beat.
A match ends once one of the two players makes it to 15 points, or when you get bored, like Danielle here.
I think this is it.
So much for legacy gameplay, but for the GDR, achieving even this took tremendous effort. In the 70s, there were quite a few manufacturers producing microelectronics
Among
in
Us.
the GDR. To boost efficiency,
You were thinking it. I know you saw this and you were thinking that. I'm not brain rotted. I just know what you think. I'm just repeating what I know you were gonna say. You're the brain rotted one. I just picked up on your wavelength. This is your fault.
and streamlined administration, several factories were usually integrated into so-called combines. Every combine ultimately reported to the government, or more specifically, to the State Secretary for Electronics and Engineering. At the time, that position is held by a man named Carl Neindl. His job is to turn the GDR into a microelectronics powerhouse. Neindl isn't your stereotypical party bureaucrat. He's a trained electrical engineer with a reputation for knowing exactly what he's talking about. He's strict, uncompromising, and he doesn't tolerate sloppiness. If anyone underperforms, Neindl won't hesitate to fire them on the spot. His colleagues call him Revolver Carl. The semiconductor plant in Frankfurt Oder is the GDR's largest manufacturer of microelectronics. The factory produces electronic components for devices like radios and TVs. Sometime around 1976 or 77, Revolver Carl shows up at the plant. He has an Atari console in his hands and a chip with Pong on it. His order is simple and non-negotiable. Build this. Like all Eastern Bloc states, the GDR is a planned economy, meaning capital, resources, and labor are all allocated from the top. The engineers get to work. But how are they supposed to build this thing? Their biggest headache is the main chip. Since 1949, a coalition of Western industrial nations known as COCOM has been coordinating and controlling exports to the Eastern Bloc. Their goal is to stop communist states from using advanced Western technology for military purposes. One item embargoed by COCOM is high-performance microchips. Anything too powerful or modern is blacklisted and can't legally be exported to the GDR. The country lacks both the cutting-edge hardware and the money to develop such chips on their own. But the chip used in the Atari is the American AY3-8500. It's so low-end that it slips past the blacklist, so the GDR engineers import it. The chip sits here, right at the heart of the console. The other components were either manufactured in the GDR or imported from other Soviet states. For example, the speaker up here in the top right comes from Tesla, the state-owned company in former Czechoslovakia. This piece in the top left is the powertrain.
I said Czechoslovakia at the start. I'm so smart. I'm the smartest person you've ever met. I know I am, because that's how smart I am. Could read your mind. Boo!
Transformer that supplies electricity to the console. The RF modulator in the center converts the signals coming from the console to a format that TV receivers can handle.
Yeah, see, I understand every single word of this because I'm so smart.
The plastic casing was also produced in the GDR. The colors weren't necessarily an aesthetic choice. Factories just used whatever material happened to be available at the time. In 1979, the first BSS-1 rolls off the production line. The GDR now has its very own game console, and the country has big plans for it. The regime hopes to get young people excited about technology. If East Germany ever wants to catch up to the West, it needs a population that understands computers and a workforce capable of building them. Party leaders also see video games as an instrument of power, a chance to showcase socialist progress and the ability to innovate just like the West.
I think there's an underlying important message, lesson. An underlying important lesson to take away from this is a lot of the times when you have something like, for example, a console or an app or a program, like a children's show or something. Things that are geared towards children especially. A lot of the times, you will have one group of people that calls out anything nefarious about these programs, about this media. And then you have other people that are saying that this is just a thing for children's enjoyment and entertainment. There can't possibly be anything nefarious about this. You have one half that sees an underlying problem and one half that can't fathom people taking advantage of children like that. And this, or anybody for that matter, they feel it's so unserious that it can't possibly have anything of any sort of hidden agenda to it. This is a wonderful cautionary tale that just because it's geared towards children, just because there's regulations, just because it seems fun on the surface, doesn't mean that it's not serving some ulterior motive.
But reality quickly catches up. The BSS-1 has a steep price tag. It costs roughly half of what an average East German citizen makes per month.
Oof.
Most consoles end up in state-run youth centers, where kids can at least play in them together. The dream of a successful East German game console never materializes. Production stops just 2 years after the initial launch. Plans to build a follow-up model with color output are briefly considered, but never pursued. Instead, the plant moves on to manufacturing another piece of cutting-edge tech: radio alarm clocks. But the GDR isn't ready to give up on gaming just yet. In the mid-'80s, East Germany commissions the development of the Polyplay, a coin-operated arcade machine. It's far.
I didn't know the GDR was so progressive like that. I didn't know they were allies. I choose to believe this was fully intentional. I choose to believe there was a really, really zesty politician at the table that was like, yeah, we can go to the Polyplay and we should make it rainbow because children love rainbows. And poly means multiple, you know, you can play multiple things or with multiple people. I'm not gay.
More technically advanced than the BSS-1 and comes with twice as many games. It features games like Hare and Wolf, which is basically a Pac-Man ripoff. You could enjoy target practice in a classic shooting gallery, chase butterflies, or go on a virtual deer hunt. Up until the very end, the GDR firmly believed in the power of video games, especially over young people. In 1988, an East German researcher and educator wrote, "Computer games objectively tend to help children take in the ideas and values of socialism through play and its imaginative appeal."
But it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's just a video game. You're looking too far into it. It's not that deep. Just because you can't see the message doesn't mean it isn't there.
1 year later, the Berlin Wall came down. The GDR ceased to exist, and with it, the country's gaming ambitions. But by commissioning the BSS-1, the GDR had tapped into a much bigger idea, using video games as a tool for projecting and wielding power, a strategy that is more prevalent than ever. Over the past decade,
I'm just saying that it might not be a coincidence that there is a gamer to alt-right pipeline. It's not the only example, but, if you're doing it for free, you're the product. Remember that.
Another communist country has quietly become a global gaming powerhouse: China. Since 2015, tech giant Tencent has been buying stakes in gaming companies all over the world. Today, Tencent is the largest video game company on the planet. It absolutely dominates the rapidly growing market for mobile games. China is also considered a pioneer in esports. In recent years, blockbuster Chinese titles have been drawing real attention in the West. But for the Chinese government, video games are more than just a profitable industry. They're also a strategic tool for broadcasting a positive image of the country to the rest of the world. In 2019, the country published official guidelines encouraging developers to weave traditional Chinese culture into video games. The action RPG Black Myth: Wukong, released in 2024, has become a massive international hit. It's a huge success for China's gaming industry, and also for the Chinese government.
This reminds me of a poll I saw from a different creator on YouTube a long time ago that asked, do you think your country has propaganda? And the overwhelming majority of participants in the poll voted no, that they didn't think their country had propaganda. Every country has propaganda. All propaganda is marketing. It's just a fun way, it's just a fancier, scarier way of saying marketing. Propaganda is your country's branding. It's not always bad, but it's important to be aware of it.
The state wasn't directly involved in creating the game, but party officials still frame it as a win for the nation.
So this game alone did more to popularize Chinese cultural narratives internationally than many former propaganda campaigns because of, the content itself that's in the video game.
Many Chinese video games are heavily censored.
China has to, keep a positive image of itself, and that includes doing censorship to any, speeches or behavior that violates what China wants to.
What? Okay, I've heard of the Winnie the Pooh thing, but I don't know. I don't. Somebody, I need a history culture buff in the comments to explain the Winnie the Pooh censorship thing to me, because I've heard of it before, but I thought it was a meme. Please tell me.
Show to the world.
Since companies like Tencent are closely tied to the state, user data can easily wind up in the wrong hands. Despite these risks, China is becoming more and more attractive to Western tech companies. It's already the world's second largest gaming market. And Europe and the US are increasingly important markets for China's gaming industry too. China may just be on track to achieve what East Germany could only dream of, using gaming to project power.
I don't know if it's much different from what's already happening. It's just scarier when it's not your country or your culture that's taking advantage of you, right? Wow, so I definitely did not expect a video about the lost communist console to be so thought-provoking, but honestly, that was great. I had a wonderful time watching that. Let me know if you want to watch more things like this, or if you've got something else like this you'd like to see me react to. Leave a comment about it, tell me on Twitch, or come tell me on Discord. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video, Space Cowboy. I had a wonderful time hanging out with you. Remember, it's never ever ever goodbye. It is always good later. Until next time, Space Cowboy. Bye-bye! I swear to God, though, every single time, I wanna be the very best, do-do like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, do-do, to train them is my cause. There you go. There's your end, Editor Coon. It's because every freaking time he plays the sound effect, it sounds like an 8-bit version of Gotta Catch 'Em All to me. Am I crazy?